Hello children. Today I came forward with a lesson reproduction in plants. Every organism in this world undergoes reproduction. Do you know children, reproduction is one of the important life process. Let us see what is meant by reproduction. The production of new individuals from their parents is known as reproduction. But how do plants reproduce? Let us see. Now, the contents of this lesson are modes of reproduction, types of asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, and pollination and fertilization process. Now, we will see the modes of reproduction. So, as we have discussed previously, so all organisms undergoes reproduction process, but varies from one organism to another organism. So that's why here two types of reproduction methods. One is asexual reproduction, second one is sexual reproduction method. In asexual reproduction process, only one single parent is involved. And here no seeds formed. And there are varieties of asexual reproduction methods: budding, fragmentation, vegetative propagation, and the spore formation. Let us see the next slide about the stem propagation, that means vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction in which new plants are produced from roots, stems, leaves, and buds. Since reproduction is through the vegetative parts of the plant, it is known as vegetative propagation. Let us see the cutting method of vegetative propagation by the help of the stems. So do you know children? Our mothers, they know very well how to propagate, especially rose plant or hibiscus plant or money plant with the help of the stems. They choose a healthy branch, they cut them and bury into the soil. So they have a special parts called buds, apart from the flower buds, in the axil of the plant. Axil means the point of attachment of the leaf at the node. They develop into a new shoots. Shoots means branches. These buds are called vegetative buds. So this bud consists of short stem around which immature overlapping leaves. These buds can also give rise to a new plants. And the next example is about the potato. Everyone knows about the potato, and this picture everyone might have seen before. So the scars that are present on the potato are called eyes. So if we cut the potato, that means eyes, into small portion and each with an eye and bury them into the soil, if we water regularly to the pieces for few days, we can see their progress. Means they raise into new plants. In the same way, ginger, onion also follows. Now let us see the next slide. It's an interesting slide about leaf propagation in bryophyllum. See, bryophyllum has a notched margins. So each margin develops a new leaf bud. Those buds develops into small plants along with the roots. So when those small plants fall on the ground, they develop into a new plants. That is the very easiest method, and the leaf is very attractive. Now we will go the process called budding in yeast. You know children, yeast is a unicellular fungus and very tiny. But how it undergoes reproduction process? See, these grow and multiply for every few hours if sufficient nutrients are made available to them. Let us see about the budding process in yeast. See the picture clearly. The small bulb-like projection coming out from the yeast is called a bud. The bud gradually grows and gets detached from the parent cell and forms a new yeast cell. The new yeast cell grows, matures, and produces more yeast cells. Sometimes another bud arises from the bud, forming a chain of buds. If this process continues, a large number of yeast cells can be produced within a short period of time. Now let's move to the next slide, that is the fragmentation in Spirogyra. You might have seen slimy green patches in ponds. They appear green in color. So, especially in the stagnant water. Those are called algae. Those algae mainly grows on water and they take nutrients available and multiply rapidly by the process called photosynthesis. So, it undergoes the reproduction process called fragmentation. Spirogyra breaks up into two or more fragments, as you can see the picture. Fragment 1, fragment 2, fragment 3. And these fragments or pieces grow into new individuals. This process continues. So this is a very simplest method of asexual reproduction. Now let us see about the spore formation. So you can see spore formation generally we will see in bread mold. Bread mold, what is bread mold, children? A fungus grows on the bread with green, black and grey spongy structures. Those are called bread molds. They propagate with the help of the spores. As you can see clearly in the picture, the spores are tiny and round color. So it happens in fern plant also. Fern plants very attractive. It appears like feathers, and at the end beneath the fern leaves there is a sori. What is meant by sori? As you can see, yellow color round shaped structures. Those sori contains a lot of spores. Spores are asexual reproductive bodies. Each spore is covered by a hard protective coat to face unfavorable conditions such as temperature, humidity, water availability. When favorable conditions comes, they develop into new plants. The spores are tiny and they can easily disperse from one place to another place. Now we will discuss about sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in plants requires two parents. As I shown the previous video, I have clearly explained about the parts of the reproductive part of a flower. So once again we can discuss. So there is a pistil called gynoecium which is divided into stigma style ovary, and the male reproductive part called androecium is about the stamen. Stamen contains anther and the filament. Flowers here, two different flowers. They are unisexual flowers, means either pistil or only stamens present, or bisexual flowers, it contains both. Examples for the unisexual flowers: corn, papaya and cucumber, etc. Now male gametes combine with the female gamete and produce what? Zygote. That is called fertilization. We can discuss later. Now we will see about the pollination process. Pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Generally, pollination is of two types. They are self-pollination and cross-pollination. Let us see the self-pollination. If the pollen grains moves from the anther to the stigma of the same flower of the same plant or another flower of the same plant is called self-pollination. As you can see, self means belongs to same plant. Remember this easily. Self means same plant, any flower of the same plant. Cross pollination, the transfer of pollen grains that moves from the anther to the stigma of another flower of another plant is called cross pollination. Comparatively, cross pollination is beneficial and it is mostly done by the help of the insects or birds or by the wind. Now let us see about the fertilization process. This picture tells everything of a flower reproduction of asexual method. So flower has a pollen grains at the tip of the stamen, that is on the anther, and those pollen grains are male gametes. The pollen grains have the nuclei. Once reach the pollen grains to the ovary of a pistil, it produces when it reaches to the stigma, the pollen grains produce pollen tube. Through the pollen tube, they insert the nucleus to the nuclei of the ovary. Thereafter, both nuclei combine and form a zygote. That means pollen grains and the ovules. Ovules are present inside the ovary. So later the zygote will be formed. Here the ovary, after the fertilization, the ovary turns into fruit and ovules turns into seeds. So the seed develops into new plants, germinate into new plants. In this way the flower reproduces. Now seed dispersal, after the production of the seeds, there are a lot of methods to disperse the seeds. Seed dispersal is very important method because there is a severe competition for sunlight, water, minerals and space. It's better to transfer or disperse from one place to another place. So there are different varieties of seeds. So like drumstick and maple, they have wings and lightweight. They can disperse by the wind. As you can see, especially coconut, they disperse by the water along with the beaches. So, and some of them have hooks and hairy like sunflower or oak. So they can stick to any other organisms and they can transfer or disperse from one place to another place. In this way, the plants undergoes reproduction of different methods. Hope you understand the lesson. Have a great time. Thank you.